taking a look at yet another small variac. Good afternoon, YouTube, on a Monday. This is Monday. It is going on 3 o'clock. It's 2:50 in the afternoon. What I have in front of me, you guys may look at this and you say, oh, that's the variac that you tested. No, it's not. Here's the one I tested right over here. This is it right here. This one you see right here was sent to me by a fellow YouTuber. The problem with it is it doesn't work. We went through a couple of things via email, and on Friday, I think it was, he emailed me and said he was just going to send it to me, see if I could get it to work. This is a Sta-Co Energy Type 171, and you can see all the pertinent things there, and this is the way he hooked it up. He had the input voltage going, the 120 going to 1 and 2, and he was taking the output off of, let's see, here it is over here. Yeah, output terminals are 1 and 3. So he had basically 1 and 2 as let's see, 1 and 2 to his let's try this with a pointer. 1 and 2 with his going to the wall outlet or wherever he was hooking it up to get his voltage, and then 1 and 3 were his output. And his problem that he was having with it was the fact that he was getting, I think he said if he turned it all the way one way, he got 120 volts, and then if he backed it off, he got just a little bit above 10 volts, and it was crazy results is what it was. So I asked him to do a couple things. One was to take the wiper and use a clip lead on it to clip from pin 3 to here, and he tried that, but he couldn't get any results there. So anyway, long story short, he sent it to me. I took it apart this morning, and the other thing was he couldn't get the knob off the end. I got it off. You can see how I got it off. It broke off, and that thing is tight. Let me tell you, that's the tightest knob I've ever seen on a thing. It had a set screw in it where you take the set screw out, and it would just twist on the shaft. That's all it would do. So anyway, it did come out, and I got it off, and like I say, got the shaft out. Now he got this part separated, but I've got that back in securely now. Anyway, let me show you what we got. Excuse me. Let me show you what we've got here. Let me stick it in here real quick, and I'll show you. As you can see here, there needs to be a contact between here, and there is not. In other words, from the, this is the output, number 3 is the output. So when the wiper goes around, makes contact with the, and I do have the contact button, whatever you want to call that, the, I don't even know what they call it, wiper contact. But anyway, I've got the brush. I couldn't think of the name. The brush for that. It goes in here, but like I say, when it goes around here, it makes voltage or contact with it, and I'll flash up a picture of the what do you call it? You can see basically how this works. When that wiper moves up and down on that coil of wire there, it produces different voltages. It's a standard auto transformer. That's what it is. But in order to do that, there has to be a connection between here, or this wiper brush, whatever you want to call it. This is all metal here, so it goes in here and makes contact with this center ring here, and then it's supposed to make contact with this output ring here. Let me show you again on that. This ring here, as you can see. But the problem is there's nothing between there, and it makes, if you push down on it really hard, it will make contact and you can get it to work. But you can't do that. What it needs is a spring washer, and I'm going to try to show you this. I don't know that I can on mine or not. I've had it apart and I saw the washer. It's just about impossible to see in there, but you may see the curvature of the washer. It's just I'll flash up a picture of it so you can see exactly what it is. But it's called a spring washer. Sometimes it's called a wave washer. It's basically a flat washer with a U shape in it, to where, you know, when you press against this, it makes contact, and that's how that works. And so that's what makes your constant contact between the two portions of the wiper and the output terminal here. So that is what I've got to find. As near as I can tell, this never had one on there, and I don't know how it ever worked. If it did, it looks pretty new, so maybe it didn't work. Like I said, it was kind of a strange thing, but again, I just, you know, from what I saw on the internet, these are not very expensive. I think I found one for like 39 cents, but it's going to have to be a certain size, obviously. And let me kind of go over that a little bit. The inner diameter that it needs to fit over this these triangular shaped thing here needs to be at least 9/16 of a hole around there, and the outer diameter here is about 7/8 of an inch. So that's the size I need to get, and it has to be a thin type washer. It can't be a thick regular flat washer type. It has to be a thin one, spring type, you know, spring washer, and that's what I'm looking for. But once I find that, this will work perfect. For the knob, I after I got this thing off there, I was thought about gluing it back together. I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. I've got one just that fits perfectly on here. Look at there. That's great. It's got the set screw and everything in it. It'll work great. But that should work just fine. And again, like I say, that's what we come up with. Now I'm wondering, I didn't take this apart, but I'm wondering if there's a dial face on the back of that side, like this, maybe, or something. Play with that if he wants to, but I haven't got it back together yet, because the only thing I have to do is once I get the, you can probably see there's a groove right there that this little clip washer, E-clip, this is actually a C-clip, but there it is, and there's a washer that goes down on there before you put the C-clip on, and that holds this tight in there. Once a spring washer in there, it'll be nice and tight. And I added a little grease to it, so it would turn smoothly inside the shaft. It was already pretty smooth, but I mean, I just thought, well, you know, go ahead and put some grease in there, make it turn real nice and easy, and that's what we did. So anywho, that's that on there. So I just wanted to make a quick video, what I found out and stuff like that. So starting tomorrow at midnight, that's Tuesday evening, 11:59 actually, p.m. We are here in Indiana, and I think a lot of states are going to this, are under a mandatory stay-at-home order. Ours is supposed to last at least 2 weeks. So I tried to tell Lexi about that. She wasn't having none of it. I said, okay, whatever. Kids, I don't know. They don't want to listen. So, like I said, that's what we're doing here. That's kind of a like I say, it really doesn't affect me. I wasn't planning going anywhere anyway. So, you know, it's really not going to affect me that much. So I can't really see any hardships on me. Now, there's, of course, the essential businesses will be open: restaurants, food stores, groceries, pharmacies, you know, things like that will be open. The rest of it, non-essential businesses, are to close, and we'll see how that works out. The Seymour Police Department put out a thing. They said they're not going to be using strong arm tactics to enforce this, but I'm sure if you're caught out with no good reason, you'll get a ticket. So that's probably not a good thing to have. The stimulus, last I heard this morning, was that the Democrats are holding up the legislation. This should not be a surprise to most people. So, you know, I don't know what to say about that. You kind of use your own judgment. Look on the web if you want. Read about it, whatever. You know, the thing about it was really funny to me was I was reading this on the New York Times. Now, the New York Times is generally supportive of Democrats. So I was a little surprised to find out they were bad-mouthing them so bad. But, you know, it is what it is, people. You know, you're going to have to get rid of these people. That's all I can tell you. They're, you know, vote them out of office, and you know, get you somebody in there that's halfway decent. Pelosi and Schumer, they're running you guys. You know, you're not getting anywhere that way. And like I say, I'm neither here nor there as far as that's concerned. But your Democrat Party is going downhill fast. People are just fed up with it. And like I say, I generally don't talk about politics, but this is kind of a stupid time to be pulling politics. And you know, it's just crazy. But you know, it's what you got. So, anywho, that's going to do my little adventure here on the bench. I think it will work out really nice once it's done. Oh, I said I put grease on that, but I haven't. I did that on mine. I took mine apart and put grease on it because it was real sticky in here. I cleaned it off with alcohol really good, and then I put some grease in it. So that is what I did, and I'll do the same thing for this. And like I said, once I do that, it'll be nice and smooth operating. And once I get that washer for it, that will be smooth. So anybody that has a lead on one of those, again, it needs to be, the center hole needs to be 9/16 at least. And the outer diameter should be about 7/8. That's an oblong shape. That's kind of an odd shape for the way that is, but it is what it is. Now this one's round. You can see that's round. But that's just the way they make them, I guess. Anywho, that's going to do us there. This is a nice variac, really. I think it'll work fine for him. Let's see what the rating was. 1.75, 1¾ amps. That'd be perfect for what he wants to do. Now, I don't know if I said this or not, but I'm going to on this one. This is laid out exactly like mine. And it's laid out exactly like the voltages are. Now, if you hook up the input terminals as 1 and 4, and the outputs are always 1 and 3, but you can get up to 132 volts out of this. Now, a lot of variacs are that way. Mine on my bench here, my big one, it will go up to 150 volts. So, like I said, that's a pretty decent little gain there. If you need the extra voltage, to get the standard out, you just use the 1 and 2, and that's a 0 to 120 output. But 0 to 132, if you, because everybody's, you know, here is 60 hertz, so it will work on 60 hertz, as you can see. But yeah, that would be kind of neat. And that's this pin here, this 4th pin. I guess it just uses part of the unused part of the what do you call it? I think the normal part comes around here, and then there's an extra part here. I don't know exactly how it works. But I think if you look at the diagram there that I posted earlier, I think it shows there how it lays out. But there's additional windings in here when you put it on here, and I think that's what makes the difference. So, anywho, that's going to do me. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see ya.